Okay, Holden Akey here with the next in my Mythic LASO guide video walkthroughs, and this is Foundation. And the first thing we need to do here is get rid of this pesky elite. So we switch over to dynamo grenades and we fire a rocket or two at him, and we just keep firing grenades. We can actually take this guy out without firing a shot. Just keep firing grenades. Just stay out of his way so that he doesn't, like that, so he doesn't tag you. We want as much as we can of full shields for our next encounter. And as we do this, remember that Mythic LASO is legendary, all skulls on, and no deaths, no saves, quits, and resumes. Notice that I'm switching out my BR for a sword. No saves, deaths, quits, and resumes, everything run in a single segment, which is what this video demonstrates. Okay, now what we're going to do here is use our grappling hook to bypass the next encounter, which is a bunch of bandage down here in this level. Come up here, there's a couple of grunts up there. I'm going to use them to get our shields back. Okay, that's why I grabbed the sword, by the way. And on to the next. And here we're going to skip more or less a major firefight by climbing the walls. Now with the bandana skull we have infinite recharge on all our Spartan capabilities, which includes the grappling hook. That's the one we're starting with and the only one that's active right now. So we just go climb straight up until we see the light, as you were, the light in the more lit area, and then start going horizontally across until we get to this little platform here. Switch back to our rocket launcher just to make sure we got it up and available. And on to the next. Now one could try to do the same thing here, and I have successfully done it. In other words, skip this area by climbing up to the top and grappling around to the back of that room, but it's not easily repeatable for old slow guys like me. So I figured I'd just take a few minutes and clean the room out. Watch where I'm firing here. We're going to have some grunts down in this immediate lower level platform, which I've taken out, mostly anyway, and then grunts over here behind these pillars on the left who poke out once in a while. Oh, there's another one. And they have disruptors, and those disruptors can fire long distance and take down your shields after a little bit. So you got to be a little careful there. Sometimes there's an elite down there at that level at the far end, and sometimes not. And notice that I'm using the doorway as cover. I'm not entering the room yet. I want to make sure that everybody on this lower level is taken care of. Whoa, where'd he go? Phew. Or where'd he come from? Anyway, I think I got him. Okay, you can also use splash damage somewhat with a rocket to take somebody out. Get them flying into a wall or something, and that might take them out. I'm taking a little bit of gas with a disruptor, darn it. I got somebody there. At least I moved them. But you get the idea. Let's clear this lower level here first. And the two areas by the pillars going up the side. Okay, somebody went flying. Okay, now up top, we might have a couple of shielded jackals and 3 elites. Oh wait, there's somebody still down there. Well, there he goes. There's one shielded jackal number 1. And the other one's firing at me from the left. Oh, that grunt is still there. I'll be darned. Now one could ask, why aren't you going up to that area and using that grunt for shields? And in reality, what will happen is if I do that now with all three elites up, one of them just went flying by the way, there's a very good possibility I would get tagged with a plasma grenade. Besides, the next area has an opportunity for me to get my shields back. So my main concern here is to get all these guys taken care of. I just keep firing until I don't see any movement, or maybe I'm down to one elite. Notice how they like to hide behind that center barrier there. Sometimes they'll jump out to the left or the right. If you anticipate their moves a little bit, you might be able to fire one to get them moving, and two to take them out, or to give them splash damage to launch them. Alright, now I think it's time to go up here and take a look. A little closer. Oh yeah, there's at least one elite left. I can hear him. Now the other thing about, the major thing about dynamo grenades is that if you get them next to or near an enemy, it will freeze them momentarily. And so I'm getting away from that elite as fast as I can because he's throwing grenades at me from this distance. And the elites have a tendency to go camo. Oh, 2 hits and he's still kicking. Anyway, the elites have a tendency to go camo, and so the grenade throw near an elite that's gone camo will freeze him, and you can jump up and take a look and see him. And then fire at that direction. We're getting close here. I'm not hearing anything. It's very possible I just took him out. Let's go quietly around the corner here. Alright, there's nobody there. Okay. And that's how I take care of this room. Alright, on to the next. And this is where we pick up the weapon, which is the whole point of the mission. Pick up the weapon and get out of here. Okay, so we just got to dodge these guys. And I believe that these are DNA containers.
This isn't a trap. I don't. Great. I hope this weapon of yours is worth the risk. I'm reading multiple enemy ships heading this way. Too many. We're running up.
And here is the weapon. And notice that my shields have flared. Okay, we're skipping cutscenes, so that's why you didn't hear all that dialogue.
Did you do that? No, removing them.
Anyway, it's a quick way to tell whether or not your shields are okay. When there's some damage to the shields, they'll flare like a honeycomb, like you just saw. When there's major damage, they'll be all sparkling and stuff, or if they're totally gone. And if they're fully charged, then you'll just see his armor.
No, it's not her.
Sometimes you can see it when he goes to put the weapon in a terminal, take the weapon out of a terminal. Definitely when you're getting in and out of vehicles, which we will see later on in the campaign. In fact, I use that to find out how my shields are doing. Anyway, what we're hearing now are a bunch of data bits that are left. Now I must say, The chief and the weapon have somewhat of a strange relationship, because she was supposed to delete herself after she captured or cornered Cortana. And I think here I might have been taking a little bit of a break. I am an old man, by the way. Ooh. Forgot I had a nice little drink here. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Make sure I got my rocket launcher up.
There's something up ahead. I can feel it.
Okay, we got some grunts up here. There's usually two, generally three of them. So once you get the first two, don't relax. Okay, that's the grunts, and down at the back end here is two shielded jackals. Throw a dynamo grenade to freeze them, and then take them out with the sword, which counts as a melee. Now here you can skip this little area if you want by grappling around to the next little platform, but it is not 100% foolproof for me, so I decided to take the long way. Take these two grunts out up here. There's a couple more grunts in here. And then two shielded jackals and a shielded sniper, or marksman. The jackal snipers have stalker rifles, so they don't have sniper rifles. So, okay, I'm looking for the jackal sniper now. The one thing they are is not shielded, so you can fire a couple grenades up there and take them out. Yep, he's done. Okay, on to the next.
Look, over there. That's the
Okay, we got to come down here and get a power seed. That's what this is. This will feature a lot throughout the campaign when we're inside Forerunner structures. And we got to bring the weapon out to pick it. I don't understand that. I thought I had full shield there. Oh well. I'll try to get the shields back in the next area that we actually have somebody to beat up with. That can be a problem with jackals. Sometimes, and I think that's a bug in the game, sometimes that black eye doesn't work. Alright, I'll talk about that a little bit more after I get across here. Now, if there's two bridges here, if we were to activate the bridges, then we'd have major firefights. And so what we want to do here, whoa, that was close. Okay, we want to grapple across. That is a skip. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. Now what I do is I run up this little elevated part of the platform, jump, grapple, and grapple the far side. And sometimes I make it look really easy, and sometimes I make it look really hard. This is one of the make it really look hard runs. Okay, so Black Eye is supposed to give you your shields back full power after a melee, and I meleeed both of those jackals, and I did not get full shields back after meleeing the second one, and that really irritates me. I think that's a bug. Okay, but we got another opportunity right here with this grunt mule. A little bit careful there, because sometimes he will throw a grenade. Alright, next up is a brute sniper. Right there. Stop right here just so you can just see him, and then fire. Two rounds on the rocket. Now sometimes that'll take him off the platform there, sometimes that'll take him out. This is why I'm being a little careful here. This particular run I took him out with the two rockets. Now the power seed, to activate the lift down here. Now why she didn't say that at the first one we got is beyond me.
I'll stay for all time.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here. Or the final rooms, I should say.
Chief, stop. How is that a Spartan?
Okay, we're going to pick up our next Spartan capability here.
She was carrying an enhanced shield module.
Okay, that buffs the shield a bit. Or his shields a
Let's see
bit.
what I can find out about her.
Okay, a couple things to note about the campaign while we go through this is that when you start a mission, you're equipped with the weapons you had from the last missions. There is no default starting weapon. It's always the weapons you had from the last mission, which for me was a BR and the rocket launcher. And when we finish this mission, I will have the sword and the rocket launcher. Okay, when she's finished there and you get control back, we got to deal with that grunt. And now we're in the final room. The first part of the final room, throw a few grenades out there, rocket at those grunts, and now the fun really begins. We've got two Jackal snipers to deal with. That's one of them. And the other one is across the hall there. Okay. You can tell when you've got them, even if you don't see them go down, when you hear a click. And that's true of grunts and jackals. And skimmers, which we haven't met yet. And skirmishers, which we haven't met yet. So we got to clear this room, more or less. You got to be very careful because all the grunts have, you guessed it, disruptors, and they're very accurate and they are deadly at long range. So what I'm going to try to do before I get to the boss fight, if you will, is make sure my shields are up 100%. And it's been a while since I actually ran this mission, so I'm not quite sure whether or not that was true. Okay, notice that we got somebody firing at me from down here. I think I just launched him. So these are essentially targets of opportunity. They are all over the place. Sometimes as you get a little bit near, the grunts will start talking. The dialogue might be a little funny thanks to the "I would have been your daddy" stall. Okay, let's move up a little. I know I didn't get them all. Yeah, there's some dialogue there. I didn't hear it, but you could tell by the subtitles that somebody's talking. Yeah, there's somebody over there. I heard the click. Oh, shielded jackal down there. Yeah, another shielded jackal. Okay, let's go a little further. Now there's going to be a couple of grunts inside the door here. Sometimes, oh, I can't believe I missed him. Okay, I got one of them. So I'm going to come down here, come back here, see if anybody's coming this way down low. And I'm going to see if I've got a grunt coming up here that I can melee. Nope, alright. So I'm going to have to deal with, or pick out one of the grunts in the final area, I believe. Sneak out here again, take a quick look. Okay, they generally kind of group on the other side and don't advance a lot. So you're still taking guys out at distance. Okay, I got that shielded jackal. So it's a matter of identifying one of them to save for the end, and we'll know that we are finished taking all these guys out when the weapon speaks up about finding a way out. At some point I will kind of move around the left edge here to see how many are left. So far I know there's at least one because the weapon hasn't spoken up yet. And unfortunately there's generally at least 2 or 3. So you got to be real careful here. Come on, where are you? There's one of them. Again, as soon as he sees me, he's firing a grenade. Okay.
We need to call down the elevator.
Alright, so there actually are 2 left. I took one out, got my shields back, and rocketed the final one. Now, as we get ready for the boss fight here, there is an approach that one could use, which I haven't used on Mythic LASO, to stack fusion cores right where he spawns after the cutscene,
In that room.
and
6 months.
taking and then having a needler
A lot.
or heavy weapon, first throwing a grenade which ignites the fusion cores, and then which will drop his shields to a point where a heavy weapon or a needler can take him out. But first we've got to activate the lift. Now the problem is that his shields come back real quick, so if you don't get him right then and there, then you're going to have to do what I'm going to do anyway. So notice I'm looking back that way. Okay, my shields are back, and as soon as I skip the cutscene, as soon as I get control back, I come down here, come over to the far side, and now I'm going to wait for him to drop down into that area right in there. Sometimes it takes a bit. There he is. Freezing. Fire 2 rockets, reload the rockets, go back to firing grenades at him. And the idea here is to keep him back down on that side as much as possible. And now he retreated. He'll come back. Yep, I can hear him. Keep hammering so his shields keep coming down, because he has got overshield and stuff. And the problem here is that it takes forever to reload the darn rockets. Now I'm surprised there that he didn't. Alright, his shields are about shot right there. And there they go. Okay. Mission accomplished. Now there are also 2 shielded jackals, and nice little teabag there. There are also a couple of shielded jackals, and they just got in the way.
That's almost funny.
Okay, that is it for Foundation. Up next will be Outpost Tremonius, the 3rd mission, which we are headed to now.
Multiple Vanis craft are converging on your location. They're coming for you.
I do hope this helps you in your quest to complete Foundation on LASO or Mythic LASO difficulty. Mythic LASO being Legendary All Skulls on. And no deaths, no saves, quits and resumes. Everything done in a single segment. That's the end of the mission thingy, by the way. It's a load screen. I do hope it helps. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Old Anaki signing off. Take care, everybody.